إن الحمد لله أحمده وأستعينه وأستغفره وأستهديه وأعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صفوة الخلق وخليله اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على عبدك ورسولك محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. ثم أما بعد. Many of us hear from time to time, actually in an increasing number nowadays, about those situations where a couple of youth all of a sudden change their behavior, leave the country and join tourists abroad or somewhere else. Another incident that we also hear about those parents who say, well, we've been raising our children in the most modest way. We've been giving them everything. All of a sudden we discovered that our children are not the children that we thought they were. And things of that nature are increasing number, and we are hearing more and more. And I would like to touch one of the important aspects behind these that perhaps we are all aware of, and we need to become more aware and educated about their significance and how they are changing the new generation, whether in the good way or in the bad way. I'm talking today, inshallah, about the social media and the mobile apps. And I want to give a disclaimer at the beginning that this has nothing to do with the job I do, even though my expertise have been always on security and privacy, be it on the industry or in academia. And I would like to touch on my experience on this. I'm not in a position to promote, neither to go against any type of technology. It's not about technology specific. It's about how we use the technology and how we make it good or how we make it bad. For I believe that technology is never to be blamed. It's the people who use the technology who can make it useful or not useful. And to give you some background on the significance of this, I collected some of the statistics. One of them was made by Telegraph. In May 2015, they say that the average person has 5 social media accounts and spends around 1 hour and 40 minutes every day. In another article, Telegraph said, same date, teenagers spend 27 hours a week online. That's almost full-time job. 27 hours a week online for teenagers. The Pew Internet Search, the Pew Research Center said in an article that was written in April 2015, 92% of teens report going online daily. And in another article in May 2013, they said 44% of youth have lied about their age to gain access to restricted websites and online accounts. Brothers and sisters, I'm sure everyone knows about the advantages of using social media and the mobile apps. There's no way we can deny this. It has revolutionarily changed the life that we live in. And in many aspects, it just went extremely well. We can always talk about how it connected families, it connected friends. You perhaps have known people for over 20 years that you got separated from, and then after 20 years of that separation, you manage to know about them through social media, and you get back connected to them. We always see those projects about like increasing the help for the needy and the poor people, and the social media has been always a great vehicle to actually drive those projects. Education has improved dramatically through social media. The political and even religion awareness has also improved very well in some aspects. We all know the impact of social media on the Arab Springs, for example, although there is the negative part as well. Professionally, social media have actually moved plenty of people, like unlimited number of people, into a better position to seek better job and actually improve in their career. And it actually helped companies to advertise for their products and all that stuff. So there's no doubt that the advantages are there, very solid and crystal clear. But on the other hand, there are plenty of other things that we have to pay attention to. And the purpose of this khutbah is not, although I have to be balanced, but I would like actually to pay your attention more into the aspects that sometimes we tend to ignore, or maybe we don't know about, but indeed they are very, very, very dangerous. And they may have a very negative impact that it may sometimes go beyond the advantages that we are reaping. And let me start with some reports about these. Telegraph in November 2014 wrote, "Extremists of all kinds are increasingly using social media to recruit, to radicalize, and to raise funds. ISIS is one of the most adept practitioners of this approach." Telegraph wrote also in November 2014, according to Britain's spy chief, "Technology giants have become the command and control networks of a choice for terrorists and criminals, but are in denial about the scale of the problem." But that's not everything. Perhaps this thing about the news that are related to terrorism have been lately on the head news, and wallahu a'lam, it actually goes, it covers the other drawbacks that I'm about to say, and wallahu a'lam, the reason for that is because the negative impact of using social media to spread terrorism has its fruit immediately. Immediately. You would see its fruit immediately. But the other negative things I'm going to talk about will take some time until they saturize and they materialize and they become evident and people realize their negative impact. So one of those things is actually the misbehavior. According to CNN, November 2015, they reported that students at a Colorado high school exchange hundreds of totally inappropriate photos of themselves. Students used a photo vault app, a mobile app, that hides those totally inappropriate photos of themselves by appearing to be a calculator or a media player. So you check the phone, you see a calculator app, but behind the scene, it requires you to authenticate yourself, and then that's where it goes to all those, وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ, haram images. Unfortunately, they say that this has spread over 70% of the students in this high school. And it started with a couple of students, but because it became more like a fashion, and then because of the peer pressure, everyone was, found herself or himself in a position that they need to do it because of the peer pressure. The Covenant Eyes in 2015 wrote that 1 in every 5 mobile search are for pornography. 1 in every 5 mobile search are for pornography. Washington Post in 2015, April 2015, they said they have surveyed students, and they found that 71% of those students have sexted, meaning they use texting to spread some sort of sexuality, and 20% had been coerced into sending their sexual messages. That's not everything. When it comes to religion, according to BBC, in September 2015, they said social media break atheism taboo. They break atheism taboo in Arab world. A search by BBC monitoring on Arab social media in English and Arabic for the word atheist, which is al-had, found hundreds of Facebook pages and Twitter accounts belonging to self-proclaimed atheists and followed or liked by thousands of people, and this was done in Egypt alone. Same thing, brothers and sisters, apply to spreading homosexuality. Satanism has spread unbelievably through the social media and spreading drugs. That's not all. Suiciding. According to the National Institute of Health, in an article they wrote in May 2012, they said there are several specific ways that social media can increase risk of pro-suicide behavior. A survey given to approximately 2,000 middle school children indicated that victims of cyberbullying, which is using the cyber technology to bully over their friends, were almost 2 times as likely to attempt suicide than those who were not. According to the Pew Research Center, 2013 May, they said 1 in 6 online teens say they have been contacted online by someone who they did not know in a way that made them feel very scared or uncomfortable. Now, according to US Central Command, they have a page about frequently asked questions on security of social media. On social media, they said that thieves may watch your updates to learn about your present location and schedule so that they know when to rob your home. And this happened here in this estate. A couple of families were robbed after their update on their social media that they are going to travel for a visit, and the robbers were just waiting for that moment, and when they learned about it, they just went and did the robbing. Pedophiles, and I'm continuing with the U.S. Central Command article. They said that pedophiles, who are the persons sexually attracted to children, they are using social networking to find and connect with kids. According to ABC News, MySpace itself kicked off 90,000 sex offenders from their sites. Of course, there are the phishers and scammers. They maliciously entice people to visit links to enter their sensitive data or load malicious software on their machines. And that's what we call, in the security terminology, is social engineering. They learn about people through their social networks, so that when they do their attacks, they appear to be very legitimate. terrorists have said they are hunting people and their families at their own homes. Brothers and sisters, in addition to that, think about the privacy aspect. And think about one question. Who really owns your data on the social networks? You create this account regardless of which technology you're using. And then somehow you lost your password. Somehow somebody hijacked your account. How could you prove you are the owner of this account? Well, there are some menus there, here and there, but most of the time it doesn't work that way. Let's say that you become sick, or if la samahallah someone loses his, dies. Who owns the data there? Who really owns it? If there is a dispute between you and the social network provider, who owns your data? It's not yours. If your data goes to the cloud, it's their data. It's not your data. In fact, the European Union is trying now to get in a law that gives people the right to be forgotten. Like if you want to be forgotten from the internet, if you want your data to be wiped out, to be erased from the internet, how could you do so? There's nothing that supports this at the current time. Your data have been there everywhere, and you don't know what they are being used to do for. Yes, there are those policies and privacy statements and whatnot, but who can guarantee that? Brothers and sisters, I have done a survey with youth, boys and girls, Muslim youth, boys and girls. And I asked them to say, okay, so give me the advantages and good and disadvantages of using social media. So they gave me a long list, but I just want to give you short statements of what they have written. And those are their statements, not my statements. They said social media are the reason for, they create life illusion. They said people usually compare their hard times with the best times others are celebrating. You have some crisis that you are going through. You open this social media account, and regardless of what it is, and then you see that this friend is celebrating his best time, this friend is doing this activity, this one is enjoying his time in Hawaii and this and that, and it just creates that life illusion. People compare their behind the scenes with the other people's highlighted film reel. It also causes identity crisis. Due to peer pressure, they say, people are often compelled to appear, behave, or talk a certain way just to fit in the group members they belong to. They also said that it causes double personality and sometimes hypocrisy, because people show a perfect image of themselves, like body, face, talents, and all that, and they try to hide their realities. And in fact, they continued saying that people usually get very isolated from facing others in reality because they don't want to expose those things that they were trying to hide. And another one that was really very interesting to me came from the sisters. They said they unfortunately have posted some of their photos with no hijab, only to find out that their photos have been circulated in a very haram venues. They also said it ruins the real social life, meaning that they themselves are no more able to sit in reality with people and just do their actual real life, social life. They said that obsession of following celebrities in many psychological studies has been linked with the lower self-esteem, and they believe in that. They also say that some of those social medias, they remember Snapchat, they say it keeps members attached to it as it deletes friend posts in 24 hours, which means that it just keeps them always eager to know what's going on, and just always finding or trying to check their devices. Another thing they said, that people usually use Facebook to change others' people's opinion through online debating, be it Islamic, be it politics. But what happens usually is that they spend long time and effort only to find that they won't be able to change anything except to unfriend their friends. They also talked about Pinterest, saying that people try their best to post their best pictures and selfies that may impress, only to impress others, even if they become very inappropriate. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله العظيم الجليل لي ولكم فاستغفروا وتوبوا إليه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله على إحسانه والشكر له على توفيقه وامتنانه وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله تعظيما لشانه وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله الداعي إلى رضوانه. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على عبدك ورسولك محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. Brothers and sisters, I have been focusing more on the negative side. There are plenty of the good sides as well. And perhaps this may not be covered in just one khutbah. This really requires a plenty of time discussion, and it requires more more of these khutbahs, because apparently what happens is that our children are moving very, very fast in learning about these while we are in the back seat. And unfortunately, most of the time, we are not aware of those changes, only to find all of a sudden some surprises that actually makes us very sad about in the future. Some of the ways that were proposed to improve on the negative sides, because there are plenty of the good side of the good things on the other hand, but let's consider the negative ones and how we can improve on them. One of the suggestions was, and actually this has been used by some of the American teachers, mothers, like they are teachers, but they happen to be they are mothers, but they happen to be teachers. They have suggested that they limit the time that their children use the phones and social media. And one of the ways that mothers did, and it was very successful, she gave her children all smartphones, and she gave them one condition. She said, you can only use it with one-time charge a week. So you can charge the battery one time a week only. So you've got to prioritize your work on those mobile apps. And unless you use it wisely, then you will end up having it dead all the time. Another one was, that's a Muslim father. He said, okay, I don't mind you using those smartphones or whatnot, but I want you to do one thing. Before you use it, read one page of Quran. And he said, when he was asked, he said, Allah Azza wa Jal said in the Quran, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا إِذَا نَاجَيْتُمُ الرَّسُولَ فَقَدِّمُوا بَيْنَ يَدَيْ نَجْوَاكُمْ صَدَقَةً. That Allah Azza wa Jal asked the believers in the time of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, that because after this mass number of questions and the mass number of people asking him like repeatedly, Allah asked them, before you ask Prophet Muhammad, go and make some donation. And in fact, those donations have actually reduced the number of people who would be asking random questions. The other one is actually, ask the teenagers to join elders when you get in a family invitations. Like we see that all the time. Like you invite people, you invite families to your home. What happens usually is that elders are in one place, teenagers are in another place. Only Allah knows what they are doing. Why can't they become part of this congregation? Unfortunately, most of the time it's because of the elders themselves are not giving the welcoming environment for those teenagers. So with that said, I would like to end up with 3 messages. And once again, there's no way we can cover everything. And I ask Allah Azza wa Jal to give us strength, inshallah, to cover this in future khutbahs. But I would like to give 3 messages. The one message is for every individual. Brothers and sisters, remember what Allah Azza wa Jal said in the Quran, مَا يَلْفِظُ مِنْ قَوْلٍ إِلَّا لَدَيْهِ رَقِيبٌ عَتِيدٌ. Whatever thing you utter, whatever statement, whatever word you say in your mouth, Allah Azza wa Jal is watching that, and you have those angels that are writing this. Brothers and sisters, now it's not only messages, it's not only words that you say, it's pictures that you post, it's videos that you promote, it's all that stuff that you are giving. But Allah Azza wa Jal is watching. The other thing Allah Azza wa Jal said, إِنَّ السَّمْعَ وَالْبَصَرَ وَالْفُؤَادَ كُلُّ أُولَٰئِكَ كَانَ عَنْهُ مَسْئُولًا. That verily your sight, your hearing, your heart, everything will be questioned. Everyone will become accountable in the day of judgment. Brothers and sisters, many people try to get some visibility through social media. And we saw that. There are people who are using social media to, they may be willing to do anything, regardless of how nasty it is, just so that people have some time to watch them and increase the number of followers, increase the numbers of visitors, increase the numbers of viewers. We see that. There are people who are gaining like maybe thousands and thousands of viewers on a daily basis for nothing, wallahi nothing. And you may be laughing. Some of them are getting high positions in their countries now just because they managed to do this. Brothers and sisters, Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has said, "Man samma'a samma'a Allahu bih." Whoever tries to do something so that people will hear about him or will look at him, Allah Azza wa Jal will expose him in this dunya before the akhirah, and it will be and he will be exposed on the bad things that he was hiding. The other message I wanted to give are for parents. Brothers and sisters, there are 4 things to remember. 4 things. Remember them very carefully. Number 1, you have to educate yourself and you have to educate your children about all the good things and the negative things. Number 2, you have to give them some guidelines about the time they use it, how much they can use it, the type of people they should be engaging with, and the type of application and activities they can do. You have to set some expectations. You can't just let it go. The third thing and the most important thing is to give them a level of trust. Don't do micromanagement. You can't do that. Because if you start doing this, they will hide it. And they will be much smarter than you. Don't do micromanagement. Give them the level of trust. Let them do it. Let them handle it themselves. But always educate them. Always exchange the ideas with them. And the last thing is, have this transparency relationship between you and them. Meaning, let them come to you finding that you have a very open heart and open mind to discuss those things that they are exploring. Don't let them go to their peers at the school to discuss those nasty things. Let them come to you first, and you should handle it from there. Don't shy from saying, well, we need not talk about these things. Brothers and sisters, many of the parents right now, they say, well, this is aib. This is not, my kids don't say this. Brothers and sisters, if you do this now, your children will find other people to discuss those things with. And it's a fact, it's a matter of fact. Most of our teenagers, I would say more than 90% now, they know much more than us. even those who are specialized in social media, brothers and sisters. The last message I want to give is to MAPS. Alhamdulillah, this great masjid, this great Muslim association has given a great platform for people to come and, alhamdulillah, utilize their expertise in something that is helpful and useful for the Muslim community and the other communities as well. Brothers and sisters, those who are working on the board of MAPS and managing MAPS, they need your help. And I believe that they themselves would, inshallah, pay their attention to this very important aspect that we are all facing, the social media and the mobile apps. They have started some hackathon projects. They have started some, the youth advisor projects and all that stuff. But I believe that we need to tackle these issues more. And I ask Allah Azza wa Jal to enable MAPS to be the leader and the pioneer in leveraging all these technologies that are appearing and making them, inshallah, the reason for us to get closer to Allah Azza wa Jal and improve and work on helping the communities regardless of who they are and where they are. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم اغفر للمسلمين والمسلمات والمؤمنين والمؤمنات الأحياء منهم والأموات. اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه. اللهم وفقنا لعمل الخيرات والبعد عن المنكرات. اللهم يا ربنا ارزقنا العمل الصالح والعلم النافع. اللهم يا ربنا أحينا مسلمين توفنا مؤمنين ألحقنا بالصالحين غير خزايا والمفتونين. اللهم يا ربنا تقبل منا. اللهم تقبل منا. اللهم إذا أردت بعبادك فتنة فاقبضنا إليك غير مفتونين. عباد الله، إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. فاذكروا الله العظيم الجليل يذكركم واشكروه على نعمه يزدكم ولذكر الله أكبر والله يعلم ما تصنعون.